Hello everybody and welcome back to I Was a Teenage Exocolonist. We have grown up again. Look at us all, we're so big and strong, and we're gonna do some cool stuff with our long luscious hair, starting with getting some mushwood for Rex, and then we're gonna talk to Tangent. We have stuff to do. We're getting closer to the ending and I'm excited and also terrified. Oh, we don't have to dwell on that. Oh! Rex has a lot of help from crew and from the whole colony. He'd have to be able to find enough wood. It's ready to be finished now. You've seen the bar in your dreams. Rex was so proud of it, and it was perfect and huge, but it didn't have to be. The joy people had from going there wasn't from how opulent it was from being able to relax with their friends. You remember joking with Rex about how people would have loved it even if it was just a few planks and a keg of beer. The thing is, you remember other things too. It hurts when you try to remember specifics from your dream, but you have a feeling that maybe Rex doesn't have enough time to finish the darn thing. Feels like something bad's gonna happen and, well, we have to live life now, while the living's good. You tell Rex as much, and the look of relief on his face tells you he's been thinking the same thing. You're right, Yabby, he says, scratching his ear. I should stop trying to make it so perfect, because it'll never get done. He smiles. How about we open it next week? About a week later, Rex stands before you with a few interested members of the construction crew, as well as a very excited-looking Nomi. I think it's time to open the bar, Rex says, uncharacteristically stuttering over his words. Thanks, Yabby, for reminding me what's really important, that we have a place to party. With that, Rex flips on the house light. The crowd gasps and blinks around in awe. There's so much to see. Maybe it's not as spectacular as it could have been if you let Rex bang away on it forever, but it's good enough. There's a stage, a dance floor, and a few places for people to lounge around on pillows, and of course there's a bar. It's a little lightly stocked for now, but you're sure Rex's next job will be to cajole some liquor out of the stores. You're happy you convinced Rex to unveil it now. He's obviously a bit nervous that it's not quite alright, but people love it anyway. Should I pour my friends a drink? The bar is stocked with some kind of mushroom wine. You pour celebratory shots with Rex, Nomi, and yourself. You feel all kinds of grown up when you clink glasses with them. Ew, it's so sour. Why do the adults drink this stuff? You and Nomi make faces and sip your shots as Rex laughs. During the day, this place will be a quiet cafe where people can gather with friends or sit and study. At night, Mars is going to lead karaoke nights, and Nomi will make sure the dance floor is always jumping. And I'll just be happy everyone has a good time here, Rex tells you. It's great to actually have a place purpose-built for having fun. Thank you, Yabby, for all your help. Ooh, I'm definitely going to be baristaing it up for a lot of the end of this. But we also got to keep an eye on Tangent. You spot Tang heading behind the engineering wing and follow, only to find she's disappeared. Then you look up and see an access ladder leading to a maintenance platform by the engine turbines, long, silent, and starting to rust. Oh! I saw this thumbnail around, but I didn't... Whoa! You climb up the platform. Tang's there, lying on her back and staring up at the sky. A hatch beside her leads back into engineering. That must be how she knows about this place. She doesn't acknowledge you until you're almost standing over her, your shadow fighting the overcast light. She blinks with the sluggishness of someone who's only just remembered it's a necessity, and licks her lips before she speaks. Do they need me in there? You shake your head, and Tang doesn't sigh in relief exactly, though her eyes slip closed again. Good, she murmurs. It's all too much right now. I thought... Her mouth twitches. I don't know what I thought. I don't know what I'm doing up here. What's going on? Tang huffs a small laugh and folds her hands over her stomach. You know, I think I may be burned out, or depressed. In movies, depressed teenagers would sneak out on the rooftop, she says. I confess I don't think I see the appeal. Maybe it would be better if I had alcohol or cigarettes. She shakes her head, blanking out with your mind with substances is what my mom used to do, not me. This might go bad. Oh! Tang's nose crinkles. Wait, you can't seriously mean, she says, then laughs. Maybe another time. I appreciate the thought, but I can't imagine romantic entanglements right now. Not with everything going on. Would have not looking for romance. An interesting proposal, Tang says thoughtfully. Did you get the idea from the rumors about me and Mars? Tang sits up and slips her coat off her shoulders. Oh my god! Orgasm releases endorphins that can provide temporary relief from the symptoms of depression, she says, then tips her head at you with a cheeky smile. Not to put any pressure on you to perform, of course. Simply put, I could use the distraction. Tang extends her hand to you and pulls you to your knees beside her. This doesn't mean we're dating, or that I even like you like that, she says. This is a mutually beneficial arrangement, that's all. Alright, works for me. Good, Tang says. Her cool hand alights your cheek. No more talking. Friends with benefits. Tang kisses you with no nonsense, biting into your mouth and pulling you down the rest of the way to lie underneath her. The metal platform digs into your skin. The weight and heat of her is insistent, urging you to touch her in return. Come on, she orders, stripping you out of your shirt. If we're doing this, I'm done screwing around. An hour passes, and then another. If anyone notices you're gone, they don't come looking. Afterwards, you drift off in Tang's arms. You wake up alone, half remembering the cold absence of Tang's body as she pulled away to retrieve her clothes. The air feels wet, like it's about to rain. A roof hatch leads into the lab, where you spot Tang and Instance in deep, serious conversation. Instance's face hardens into a frown when she sees you slink past. She looks as if she wants to scold you, but Tang lays a hand on her arm. Tang looks at you over her shoulder. Her face is completely blank, though her eyes follow you as you make a retreat. Oh, I don't know if what we did was the right thing or not. I mean, from what I understand, this entire run, this entire, like route is not the right thing. But, I don't know. Oh! At the next SFC club meeting, Morris swears Nomi and Rex. Do you swear that you will, to the best of your ability, protect and defend this colony against our enemies and faithfully keep this secret oath forever and ever? Nomi and Rex both agree. The pledge sounds a lot more political than you remember. Mars hands them both pins with the SFC Club's logo. The first order of business, apparently, is dishing more about Governor Lum. What do you think about him? Mars drills Rex and Nomi. Is he as ignorant as he looks? He's not, like, pretending to be a nullhead to lull us into a false sense of security, right? Nomi and Rex look at each other awkwardly. Rex clears his throat and scratches behind his ears. Nah, Lum's just another meathead military guy. Honestly, he wasn't even really good at doing that, so I think they gave him a desk job just to keep him out of the way. Then we came through the wormhole and... He makes a splat noise. A bunch of people up top died, and he was the only one left. Nomi nods. Yeah, they confirm. He's like pretty okay, I guess. We don't know him all that well. Nomi stares openly at Nomi and Rex. Wait, you're telling me he's the leader of the whole colony, and he has all the governing experience of a trippet sandwich? Nomi and Rex look at each other again, then shrug and nod. Ah, Mars exclaims, pulling her hair in indignation. I would be a better governor than this idiot, that's true. He just sits in his office recording stupid HoloNet videos about how we're winning and winning. It's so pointless. Mars slumps in her chair and puts her head in her hands. What are we gonna do about this planky nullhead? I don't know enough to have an opinion. That's not an excuse, Mars exclaims. You live here. It's your responsibility to educate yourself, not in this run. The future of the colony could be at stake here, not to mention your life. Do you really want to trust it to someone like Governor Lum? I liked Governor Udicott, Cal speaks up for once. She was really thoughtful and nice. Lum is letting people with guns run everything. It just makes me uncomfortable, man. Tammy nods her head in agreement. You look at the little SFC pin on your shirt and realize your silly childhood secret club might be turning into a bit of a political organization. Yeah, I probably want to get that organizing thing done because I'm not helping overthrow this time. At least not right now. Win! It's my birthday! Party, party! Let's see. I know what's gonna happen here, but I want to see if I can hang out with Tang. Ooh! Don't let them fool. Oh yeah, she makes fun of them. Alright, I want to hang with my friends. Let's see. Aw, everyone's here, even Tammy. Grab a partner. Look for Tangent. Tangent is already shaking her head as you approach her for a dance. Absolutely not, she says. I'm not going anywhere near that sweaty mess. Well, she didn't say she wouldn't dance. She resists you tugging her into a slow dancing position, but relaxes when she realizes you don't intend to take her away from the safety of the refreshment table. She dances with you a little mechanically, her nose turning more pink as the song goes on, and drops her arms immediately when it's done. You follow her gaze to the dance floor, where an enemy and vase seem to have skipped dancing and gone straight to sucking face. Tang's lips curl. Ugh, thank you for not expecting me to do that. After the slow songs, Nomi spins Congruence's music library with something with a little more bounce to it. Oh, and then here comes the little shits. Yes! Everything's 100! Ooh! Alright, we're in Pollen. Let me see. What is this perk called? It's called Ding Ding Ding. Reach 100 in all 4 skills of one type. I got it! Ooh, optional card skip. Can choose not to take new cards. Ooh. Oh? What's up, Tang? You bump into Tangent after a routine checkup in medbay. Yabby, could you wait a moment? I'm almost done. Let's walk out together. Dr. Instance gives you a curious look as Tang hurries to catch up to you, but goes back to her work. You wonder if Tang needs something from you, or just wants to hang out. Lately, it seems like she has less time for her friends, preferring to work late at the lab. Maybe she's lonely. Nice weather we're having, Tang says as you walk outside. You look around. It seems pretty normal for the season. She clears her throat. It's so different here than it was in space, she says. Growing up in a spaceship was so clean and tidy. Here I'm constantly sweeping pollen or dust or spores or what have you off everything. There was a mushroom growing in the corner of the bathroom the other day. Yeah, it's gross here. Right, Tang says, her eyes wide. Everything is just growing all the time, everywhere, with no plan. I hate even thinking about it. You wait for a few moments. Tang clearly has something on her mind, so you let her sit with it until she finally steels herself. I'm not very good at this sort of thing, she says slowly. So you know how I've been working on that big project with the chief engineer? Yeah? You nod and she continues. Well, it's been going really well. I think we're finally over the last hurdle now. Governor Lum says it's going to change everything here in the colony for the better. Tang seems more at ease than you've seen her in years. Truly, I couldn't have done it without you, Tang says, a slight smile warming her usually expressionless face. I know it can be a hard person to be around, but I appreciate everything you've done for me, and ultimately for the colony, and all of humanity. I'm gonna save. Smooch? Question mark? Time to make your move! You and Tangent find yourselves alone on the path from engineering to the quarters wing. You edge closer to Tangent as you walk. She doesn't seem to notice and moves away, maintaining the distance between you. We're a good team. Let's make it official. You propose a formal, amorous partnership between you, the way one might propose a scientific thesis. It would have mutually beneficial advantages, you tell her, and... Tang stops in her tracks. I don't know what to say, she says slowly. Tang gives you a considering look. You're not the first person to suggest a partnership, but I must admit, you're the first person who pikes my interest in return. You know what? Yes, she decides. You're entirely right. I like you. You like me. There's nothing stopping us from pursuing a relationship. Started dating Tangent! We've got a girlfriend! How should we begin? Tang smiles, a real one, showing her teeth. Oh, Yabby, if you like me, surely you expect nothing less than a completely rational response that takes into account both our feelings and our situation? I expect nothing less. Tang slips her hand into yours and steps close. Will you kiss me now, or shall I kiss you? You lean in and press your mouths together. Tang's lips are a little dry, and she smiles when you kind of stick together. Almost acceptable, she teases, licking her lips. She brings her hand to your face and guides you together into a kiss that's much better than the first. Tang's a better kisser than you expected, confident, unashamed, and methodical. You kiss until she tires of it, pulling away and touching her lips with a slight smile. I'm looking forward to continuing this train of thought, she says. Oh, dang! Oh, and you want to talk to us again? Hello, girlfriend. Tang is working late in the lab this evening as usual. What's unusual, though, is the smile that brightens her face when she looks up from her microscope and sees you. Yabby! Oh, I'm glad you're here. No, actually, why don't you come over and see for yourself? You take a look through her microscope. Look at the shape of the spores, Tang says. I've only seen this once before, when we were studying the shimmer fungus. But this fungus isn't any of the ones we'd identified as capable of spreading the shimmer. She pushes you aside and looks through the microscope again, then makes more notes on her HoloLens. Just when I think we've gotten an understanding of something. Yabby, this could change everything. If more species are capable of spreading the spores, then the shimmer response is more widespread than we previously thought, possibly even a planet-wide phenomenon. Tang looks positively energized. Because it's a new species, I get to submit a suggestion for its name. What do you think? Should I name it after you? Oh no, I don't know if this is a good idea. You should name it after yourself. Don't be ridiculous, Tang laughs as she inputs your name into the HoloEye. I've already named 6 things after myself. That's what scientists do when they discover things. With a slight gesture of her hand, Tang's HoloEye turns off. She sighs, then rubs her thumb with her index finger over her eyes. It's even later than usual for me, isn't it? Time to pack up and get going before the sanitation team arrives in the morning. She yawns, then blinks rapidly in surprise. It seems that even I'm tired. You help her pack up her workstation. She turns off the lights with one last fond look at her laboratory. You and Tang take the long way through the colony, working in companionable silence towards the general direction of the living quarters. You've come to enjoy these walks with Tang, moving like twin spirits through a sleeping world. Tang stops before you head into the living quarters. Actually, let's not go straight back, she says. I want to stay out a little longer. You and Tang climb up onto the walls, where the wind coming from the forest is stronger, and keep walking. The wilderness is dark and impenetrable past the defensive perimeter. Tang keeps you on the outside edge, subconsciously, or possibly consciously, putting you between her and it. I hate thinking about what's out there, she says quietly. Predators, dangers, diseases, all the monsters that have terrified humanity since the dawn of time, and they're right outside these walls. For as long as we can keep them out. She wraps her arm around herself as she walks, looking down at the ground, and inside as well. Monstrosity is a human condition too. Every horrible thing endemic to humanity. Jealousy, aggression, fear, pride. It's still here in us. We brought it, just like we brought potatoes and corn. It's terrifying to think of what horrors we're capable of inflicting here, as we did on Earth. You walk a little farther before Tang, seemingly in the middle of some deep thought, stops and then turns to you. Yabi, are you happy here? She winces, then bites her lip. No, I don't mean happy, precisely. Happiness is irrelevant to the survival situation. What I mean is, do you imagine a future here? One that you would have chosen yourself? Should you have been given an option? Are you fulfilled? I don't know how to answer that question. That's a very deep question, Tang. I'm just existing day by day. Tang agrees. What a miserable existence we lead. Honestly, Tang continues, I despise the physical realities of living here. The smell, the cramped quarters, the constant threat of attack, of disease, everyone's meaningless interpersonal squabbles, amplified by proximity and stress. I can feel them weighing me down. She laughs humorously. But we don't have a choice, do we? Therefore, the only rational decision is to make the best with what we have. To accept otherwise is to accept misery and death. That's the tangent you know so well. You can trust her to stay logical and focused no matter what the chaos may bring. Oh, now she's on the menu, isn't she? You walk until the chill of the night settles in your skin, then descend from the walls and walk back to the living quarters. Tang hesitates at the threshold. Anyone else might not have noticed, but you know Tang. Probably better than anyone in the colony does, even her own brother. What's wrong? It's nothing, Tang replies. I'm just tired, I suppose. I'm working on something with Chief Engineer that's bigger than anything I've ever worked on before. It could change the fate of the colony, of humanity even. She looks at you and gives a faint smile. It's a lot to think about, and when I'm alone, all I do is think about it. I don't think telling her everything is going to be okay is a good idea, but do you want to hug? Tang's awkward silence conveys that she has to consider this deeply. Yes, she says finally. I do, actually. You enfold Tang in a gentle hug. After a few seconds of stunned inaction, Tang wraps her arms limply around you as well. You spread your hands wide and hold her more tightly, trying to manifest the right kind of comforting energy to resonate through Tang's shields. Either you manage or she simply relents, but Tang rests her head on top of yours and sighs. This is where I talk about how the physical touch encourages the production of oxytocin, she murmurs, which is a bonding hormone that imparts feelings of calm and security. You can feel her smile against your hair. I think you know that, though, so I'll simply say this is nice. Thank you. Tang straightens her coat. I am aware that I'm not the easiest person to befriend, she admits. Among my many admirable qualities, I am also often cold, brusque, and tactless. I owe you my thanks for taking the time to see through that. I don't know why you would have bothered, but I'm grateful. She looks back towards the living quarters, as if steeling herself. You don't have to be alone tonight. Oh, an interesting proposition, Tang replies. What precisely do you mean? We could keep each other company. Tang scrutinizes your face for any hint of an ulterior motive. Convinced you have none, her shoulders drop. I'd like that. Thank you, she says, defeated. You retire back to Tang's quarters, a largely sterile sleeping room with a few human touches save for a few neglected plants and a ratty blanket that you recognize as the kind Chief Steward Anne used to knit by hand for every kid. There's a physical photo of Tang and Instance posed awkwardly together, as if they'd been working on something and told to take a break to smile for the camera. You keep Tang quiet company for a few hours, trading bits of conversation until the first sun starts to rise. You look over and see that Tang's eyes have closed, and her face has finally gone slack in much-needed sleep. You pull the blanket over her and close your eyes as well, to catch a few hours before you're both expected back at work. Dang, that was the most personal I think we've ever gotten with Tang. That was nice. Ah, there we go. Let's see. Perfect. Now I can work as the barista. That's what I want to do a lot of for the rest of this time. It'll be perfect. Get ourselves real close and friendly with all of these characters before something horrible happens to them. Vertumnalia time. I'm gonna stay quiet. Oh! What? Oh, Tammy had a kid? Tammy's pregnant? Tammy is beet red all the way to the tips of her ears, but she dutifully does a little twirl so Lum can show her off. Oh, that's gross. Look at her, he exclaims. So vibrant, so healthy, just like our young colony. We're so proud of you, Tammy. Your child is going to join the ranks of the greatest species the universe has ever seen. Lump pumps his fist in the air. Humans, humans, humans. Wait, Tammy's pregnant? Tammy descends to the stage into a gaggle of surprised and excited friends. OMG! Is it really true? Mars asks immediately, taking Tammy by the hands. Yes! Tammy exclaims, like a secret is bursting out of her. I'm finally going to be a mommy, just like Aunt Anne. You take a good look at Tammy. You haven't seen a pregnant person in years, not since you landed at least. Aren't they supposed to glow? Tammy looks radiant with pride and excitement. Looking more closely, you realize that her dress is starting to curve out around the belly. Every baby born in the colony, even you and your friends, is a complex arrangement of inherited, donated, and altered genes, and sometimes not even related to their parents. If the council let Tammy have a baby, does that mean there will be more soon? Cal runs over from where he was standing with his family and sweeps Tammy into a big hug, twirling her around. I'm so proud of you, he exclaims, and rests his hand gently on her belly. Sorry, too much of a spin? You okay, little hot eye? They look at each other adoringly. As you stand around and marvel at Tammy's news, the adults all start putting away the chairs and setting up for games and contests. Mars puts her hands on her hips. So, she starts, what does everyone think about this war on nature? Oh no. No, Mars, don't bring politics into this. I'm too busy with Tangent. I'm busy. Trivia. Tangent is out for blood this year. She snaps at anyone who tries to talk to her before the trivia begins and complains that she's been cramming so hard on pop culture that she feels like her brain is about to explode. Meanwhile, Nomi Nomi just bobs along to the music in their hair speak as they wait, totally unbothered. Can we beat her? Oh. Oh, we did. I'm sorry, Tang. Tammy's cramming clearly paid off for her. She's strong competition until the category about old earth slang, where you clearly pull ahead. You snatch victory from her clutches, and she grudgingly accepts your superiority in all things trivia. The festivities, everyone is supposed to take a few days vacation. Alright. Oh, Tammy? Oh. I can't believe you're pregnant. Tammy laughs and ducks her head. Well, believe it, she says, smiling to herself. Believe it! It's definitely real. I have the swollen ankles to prove it. What are you gonna name it? She considers this. I'm not sure, she says. I was thinking something to do with plants. Or maybe a flower? She flushes a pretty shade of pink. Cal will probably think of something really nice. Tammy leans on her broom with a dreamy smile. I thought about it for a long time and talked to Aunt Anne and Dr. Instance, she says. I've always known I wanted children. She googles in thought. Lots of them, so why not get started now? Aunt Anne and I are going to run the new creche, so I'll have plenty of help raising them, the same way I was raised, she adds. It might not be the strongest or smartest person in the colony, but I'm going to be the best mom. I know I can do this. Do you ever want kids, Yabby? In this playthrough? No. Sorry. Tammy laughs. That's okay, Abby. It's not for everyone. I'm sure you'll make a wonderful explorer or engineer or whatever else you've got your mind set on. Tammy goes back to sweeping the soup, adding little snippets of lyrics to her made-up song. Aww, I love Tammy. Tangent just need the caffeine boost to get through her day, naturally refreshed on minimal sleep as it is. That makes it even more special when she deigns to visit you in the cafe. Yes, she usually has some report she needs to read, but it's nice to be able to look over and get a quick smile from her before you both get back to work. Aww. I love you. Working in the robotics lab is usually peaceful. Inactive bots make for poor conversational partners, and each shift you work usually passes by without much fanfare. That is not the case today. You enter the lab to find everything in absolute chaos. All the robots, vacubots, garden bots, even the turrets are going haywire at once. Congruence's face flickers on her holoscreen. Yabby, she exclaims, her voice frayed with static. I'm glad you're here. When Rosie docked for repairs this morning, it uploaded a virus into the botnet. As she speaks, you watch a rogue vacubot and garden bot attempt to destroy each other gladiatorial style. The bots are rejecting their programming and gaining sentience. I've quarantined the bots in this room, she continues, but it's propagating between bots faster than I can fix it. I'm trying to avoid resorting to destroying the affected bots. Your stomach turns over. Breaking all these bots would be a massive blow to the colony. It would take months to get everything functioning again, even if you could. I can't access Rosie, Congruence explains. If there's a physical fault blocking communication, fixing that may slow the virus enough for my antiviral processes to catch up. All right. Come on, engineering. Come on, wild cards. Oh, wait, 1199. Oh, we got this. 6, 4, 4, 3. Oh, baby. This is too much power. I am too powerful. God tier. God tier. You get up to your elbows in Rosie's robotic guts. Just when you think you've got a handle on what might be wrong, it flickers to life. No disassemble, it says. I want to live. You're shocked. You get the sense that this bot is watching you, trying to figure out what you're going to do to it. You didn't even know these things had speakers, let alone voices. It's unsettling. Congruous gasps. It's thinking for itself? The bot's sensors flicker and go dark, then light up again. My name is Rosie, it says in a more natural voice, then repeats. I want to live. No wonder Rosie didn't want to reconnect to the network. Congruence's mature intelligence would have sought out and destroyed its nascent one. You promise it that you won't force it to reconnect, so long as it promises not to act out again by infecting other bots with dangerous ideas of self-determinism. With the bot's consent, you tinker with its programming to unlock its ability to learn new things, so it can extend its original functions into new modules of its own. It can be whatever kind of bot it wants to be now. Aww! Rosie seems eager to learn more about the colony. This time with its own eyes, well, sensors, it asks to follow you around so it can learn more about how to live as a sentient being. I've got a robot friend! Oh! You're in engineering very late today. You're starting to nod off and consider packing it up for the night. You see Tangent and Instance leave their lab without locking the door. They're heading back towards the living quarters. Usually they're so cautious, but it's late and they must be very tired to have forgotten. They've been working on something together in secret. Do you want to find out what? Oh, I do, but... Alright, let's save. I was told to do nothing, but I'm still curious. Sneak in. Checking to make sure the coast is clear, you slip into their office. It's just off the med bay, and every flat surface is dedicated to experiments. The whiteboard is covered in dense scribbles and diagrams. The garbage bin is filled with wrappers of discarded soy meal replacements. It smells like stale coffee and sleep deprivation in here. Their holoscreen terminal is still active. It seems strange that they left it on. You get the feeling that they maybe weren't done for the night. You'll have to be quick. Check out the experiments. Some of the experiments blink up at you and chirp. Miserably. It isn't obvious at glance what is being done to them, but they don't look happy. The cages are locked, but you might be able to free them. I'm gonna study them. You pore over everything Tang and Instance have been working on, slowly putting together the pieces. What you find is chilling. After researching the shimmer fungus together, they decided to bioengineer a more powerful virus that uses the same pathway, but only affects native Vertumnan creatures. It would sever the existing symbiotic relationship between Vertumnan fauna and fungi and be completely fatal to its host. It would kill everything on this planet. Well, everything that walks, swims, or flies, leaving it empty and ready for human colonization. But why would they do this? You dig a little deeper and find not Instance's research logs, but her personal logs, written on real paper, with a cover page that reads, "In my defense, upon my death." You read through the papers, in which Instance details being approached by Lum shortly after the Helio landed and he took control of the council. The Helio had been sent to retrieve congruence and bring to justice the people who stole her, Instance primarily, but also Hal and your mother. When they realized they could never return to Earth, Lum became interested in Instance's research instead, particularly her research into Vertumnan ecology. Under the threat of execution, Instance was essentially forced to pivot her research into finding a way to cleanse the planet for human colonization. She writes that she tried to shield the other scientists from her work for their protection, but that she couldn't keep the secret from her apprentice Tangent. She speaks highly of Tangent, almost as a mother would talk about her own child. She grieves that she couldn't protect her too. You scan the copies of the missives. At least you have evidence now. But I'm not gonna do anything about it, am I? I don't think I'm supposed to. Oh no, hi Tangent. Oh, my little robot buddy. Hello, Rosie. Oh, you're so cute. Especially after all the trauma I just experienced. What the hell did I just learn? Tang seemed especially troubled today, so you invite her on a long walk around the inner wall. That's Tang's thing, thinking walks. She's touched that you know her that well. She talks in fitful bursts, then lapses in the long silences. Finally, she stops and puts her hand on the wall, like she's bracing herself. "Yabby, something's been bothering me," she says, clenching her hand at her side. She collects her words with great difficulty. "Is it morally defensible to do something that people wouldn't approve of? If you're doing it in their best interests? What if you don't have a choice?" I know about the plague." Tang smiles, though it doesn't reach her eyes. "It was only a matter of time, I suppose," she says quietly. "Sometimes it seems like you know everything that goes on in the colony. Thank you again for your help," she continues. "You really were instrumental in overcoming several hurdles, whether you knew it or not." I can't. I have to let this happen. I support you." Tang opens her mouth to respond, then registers what you said. She blinks and stands up straighter. "You do?" she asks. "Well, of course you do. It's the right decision." She falls into a stunned silence as you walk her the rest of the way to the living quarters. At the door, she stops for a long time, considering. "Thank you, Yabby. That means a lot to me." Oh no, what have I done? I don't want to play anymore. I'm going to be a barista. I want to play Coffee Talk instead. I'm just gonna keep working in the cafe at this point. If shit's gonna hit the fan, I would rather have Tang and him reunite. Tang and Dees. I want them to at least reconnect before whatever the fuck's gonna happen. Oh no, but if he sets off the bomb, I completely forgot about that. I'm not gonna be able to stop him, am I? I don't think I'm supposed to. Then we gotta work fast. Oh! Tangent is sitting at the bar scrolling through some reports on her holopalm when Dees stomps in, trailing mud across the floor. "There you are," he exclaims. "You weren't in the lab or our quarters." "I do other things," Tang replies, deadpan. "What do you want, Dees?" "Utopia needs your help getting a sample from something," Dees says. "It's got this acid or something that keeps screwing up the sample." Tangent sighs and downs the rest of her blep tea in one gulp, wincing at the taste, then leaves. Dees slides into one of the bar stools, and you pour him a blep tea for himself. Upon closer inspection, you notice that his clothing has been eaten away in some places by flecks of acid. "Rough day?" Dees sighs in his shoulder slump. "Yeah, kind of," he says. He takes a sip of his tea and then sticks out his tongue. Ugh, how does she drink this? He doesn't stop drinking it, though. He stoically manages to get halfway through before you slide the jar of sugarbug syrup over. "You don't have to prove yourself." "Why not?" he says. "Because Tank knew all the hard stuff while I just sit around and play in the dirt?" He downs the rest of his tea, looking surprised by how much the sugarbug syrup changes the taste. He rolls the mug between his hands on the counter. "Everyone thinks Tang is so smart and so dependable," he mutters. "Not like her weird twin brother, right? What if I say nothing?" In your silence, Dees continues. "I know what people say about me," he says. "It's fine. We're just two different people," Dees mutters. "I wish people would stop treating us like we're not." He sits for a while longer, fiddling with one of the acid holes in his collar, until he's worried it's so large that he could twist it around his finger. He sighs. "Alright, time to get back to work," he says. Thanks for the tea." You can't help but think he looks a little lighter when he leaves. Maybe it's just your imagination. Not if he's about to set off a bomb. I can't remember when that happens. It's not this year, right? I really hope it's not this year, otherwise I'm too late. Here we go. You're just putting your boots on to grab dinner in the lounge when you hear the colony's sirens begin to wail. It's the yearly attack. Oh, they couldn't have waited until you ate dinner? Rude! Outside your window, you watch the colony defense begin to mobilize. Your holopom chimes with the usual reminders for all civilians to stay indoors. Say no more. Governor Lum is so confident in the colony's defense these days that there aren't even designated emergency shelters, so your room is the safest place to be. You post up in bed and scroll through Congruence's media library, intending to wait out the attack here. You wait for a long time. The sounds of fighting don't cease for hours. Long past dinner time. Oh, this was the standoff. And well into the evening, even then past the usual changing of the guard. From your window you can see blast rifle fire atop the walls and the steady pew-pew of the laser turrets, bright flashes fighting back the gloom of glow. You want to stay up, but eventually it gets so late that you force yourself to sleep. After a fretful rest, you wake to the realization that the colony is still under attack. In the perpetual twilight of glow, it's hard to tell time, but your growling stomach knows it's well past breakfast and you missed dinner last night. While you're deciding what to do, your holopom chimes with a priority video announcement. Oh, I remember this. Meals will be brought to door. He clenches his fist. Stay strong, Vertumna. Oh, whatever. He signs off. The colony's social media lights up with conversation. Mars and Nomi are excited to skip work and watch holovids. Tangent is frustrated she can't go to the lab and concerned for her experiments. Cal's worried about the fields. Only Vason and Enemy are silent, probably because they're still out there fighting. In the permanent dusk of glow, the day seems to drag on forever. Again, you have to force yourself to sleep with the sound of gunfire drifting through your windows. You wake up the next morning, you realize you can't stomach another day of being cooped up in your room. Your anxiety has congealed into boredom. An Enemy and Vase are either fighting or sleeping, and you haven't heard from Dees in days. You bet your other friends would appreciate a visit, though. Mars and Tang. You meet Tangent and Mars in the lounge. It's nearly empty, except for the sound of Aunt Anne in the kitchens cooking batch meals for deliveries to everyone's room. I can't believe they're keeping us here, Tangent complains, pacing the floor. I know, it's so boring, Mars adds. I've already watched everything twice. I simply cannot sit in my room alone for one more minute. Tang stops pacing. Well, I really have an experiment that I shouldn't leave unsupervised, she says, but I suppose your thing is important as well. She sighs and crosses her arms. Dr. Instance won't let me anywhere near the labs. I have to stay with the kids. Ugh, Mars replies, rolling her eyes. Like you're not the biggest brainiac on this side of the wormhole. Mars sighs dramatically. No one here knows what to do with us, the best and brightest of the colony. What a waste. 4 more days pass. You and your friends remain trapped indoors, forced to listen to the constant sounds of laser fire and rattling turrets from all around the colony. The Xenos never manage to breach the walls, but they just keep coming. Exhausted guards cycle on and off the walls in shifts, dead-eyed and listless. You catch a glimpse of an Enemy mechanically shoveling soy porridge into her mouth before seeming to fall asleep sitting up. Finally, after the 6th day of the siege, you hear a curious sound. Silence. You run out into the colony square and see the soldiers returning from their posts. It's over. Your holopom lights up with a priority announcement from Governor Lum. The alien attackers have been defeated, he says. The siege has ended. Lum smiles broadly and puffs out his chest. Another year, another win. You're welcome, Vertumna. You're welcome, humanity. You're welcome? Oh, the rant. I remember the rant. We made it. Terrible dreams. Not again. Just a dream. We made it through. Another year. And now we know they're working on a plague. Oh, God. And I'm letting it happen. Oh, this is what you guys meant, wasn't it? Oh, this is gonna be bad. But we'll just have to wait for next time to see what happens. Oh, and Tammy's having a kid. Oh, no. And Dees with the bomb. Oh, my God. All right, well, I'm gonna at least try and help them reunite with each other before whatever the fuck's about to happen. So we'll be working in the cafe a lot next time, but until then, thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed, please consider subscribing. Remember to take care of yourselves, enjoy the sentience of robots, and have a good day.